Welcome to this Executive Strategy Review Explainer. Look, if you're tuning in today, I know you aren't here for basic theory. You're a focused learner, and you're ready to audit your business with a seriously critical eye. So today, we're putting on our CEO hats. We're going to conduct a ruthless executive audit of your business. We're digging deep into the actual core mechanics of scale, with the goal of shifting you out of that exhausting six-figure hustle and straight into seven-figure scale. We're looking at the exact friction points holding you back, drawing directly from a fantastic breakdown by Peter Vogt on the precise mistakes standing between entrepreneurs and their first million. Get a pen ready. I want to kick things off with a number that should serve as a massive wake-up call for all of us. 10.2 million. By the year 2015, over 10.2 million households were already millionaires. And you know that number has only skyrocketed since then. So here's the immediate audit question for you. If millions of other people have the exact same access to the internet, the exact same tech, the same podcasts, and the same mentorship information that you do, why aren't you there yet? The problem absolutely isn't a lack of information, and the difference isn't some secret underground growth hack. It's the unsexy, practical execution of daily operational standards. So here is our 5-pillar strategy review agenda for today. We're covering ditching perfection, putting strategy first, smart delegation, stopping that whole time for money trade, and finally, customer focus. Let's get right to work. Roadblock number 1. Ditching perfection for testing and moving from paralysis to execution. It is incredibly common for really smart entrepreneurs to get completely stuck here. The author of our source material actually admitted that delaying a launch just for the sake of perfection cost him over $100,000. I mean, perfection is an incredibly expensive illusion. The six-figure mindset gets totally paralyzed, trying to make the product, the website, or the launch completely flawless before anyone even lays eyes on it. You end up spending weeks just tweaking website colors. Meanwhile, the seven-figure mindset, it's driven purely by testing experiments. By the time you're trying to perfectly polish one single idea, a millionaire has already launched a basic, ugly landing page and run a $50 ad test just to gather real data. Sure, maybe only a fraction of those tests are actually profitable, but they are already generating cash and real-world insights while you are literally still adjusting a logo. The harsh reality is that ideas are absolute vapor until they are executed and proven by the market. So here's your practical execution step for today. Take one idea, build a minimum viable version of it in 24 hours, and put it in front of real people. Execution and data are literally the only things that actually move the needle on your revenue. All right, moving on to pillar number 2. Strategy before tactics. Sweat in peace, bleed less in war. Highly productive, millionaire-level people simply do not act randomly. They maintain acute, laser-focused clarity on the exact end result they're trying to achieve. Think of it like this. Strategy is the big picture. It's exactly who your target avatar is, where you're going, and what specific market share you want to capture. Tactics, on the other hand, are just the daily tools you use to get that overarching strategy accomplished. If you don't actually know your destination, well, running faster with your daily tactics is just going to get you lost a whole lot quicker. So here is a highly practical method to fix this right now. Step 1, identify your big goal. Step 2, reverse engineer that massive goal into small, bite-sized, actionable steps. And step 3, and I'm challenging you to literally sit down and physically write this out today, put this into a concise 1 to 2 page execution plan. Throw it on a single Notion doc or a Google Doc. Please, whatever you do, do not make it a 40-page PDF that's just going to gather digital dust. When you map things out clearly like this, you intentionally mitigate your risk and you dramatically increase your ability to actually predict your own success. But right before you finalize that execution plan, I have an executive audit question for you. Ask yourself, does your strategy actually matter to your customers, and does it clearly differentiate you from the competition? If your answer to either of those is no, then I hate to break it to you, but you don't have a strategy, you have a wish list. Go back to the drawing board until you can definitively say yes to both of those questions. Pillar number 3, master intelligent delegation. This is all about building a team to scale. Look, getting other people to perform at a genuinely high level is arguably the absolute hardest aspect of leadership, but it is entirely non-negotiable if you are ever going to break past that six-figure plateau. You simply cannot scale you. And that brings us to the golden rule of scaling, the 80% rule. If someone else can do a task 80% as well as you can, they should be doing it. End of story. To start applying this today, track your time for the next 3 days. Identify the bottom 20% of those low-leverage tasks that you're hoarding and hand them off. You have to free up your bandwidth for revenue-generating scale. Now, to build a team you can actually trust to hit that 80% mark consistently, you need a solid system. First, determine your core values. Second, operationalize those standards. Seriously, just record a quick Loom video outlining exactly how a task should be done. And boom, you've created a permanent standard operating procedure. And third, define crystal clear roles for every single task you delegate. When you bring people into a value-based system with clear parameters, you move instantly from just sort of hoping they do well into a pure execution mode, where they know exactly what success looks like. But here is where almost everyone messes up. We've all seen it. The classic six-figure entrepreneur mistake is to hire fast out of pure desperation and then fire slow out of guilt or just wanting to avoid an awkward conversation. To hit 7 figures, you have got to make an immediate mindset pivot. You need to hire slow and fire fast. Guard your company culture fiercely. If a new hire doesn't align with the standards we just talked about, you have to let them go quickly to protect the rest of the team. Pillar 4, stop trading time for money. Let's talk about the incredible power of leverage. Doing more of what got you to 6 figures will absolutely not get you to 7. Working twice as many hours is quite literally physically impossible. You're going to burn out. You have to stop and ask yourself, are you making an intelligent trade? To scale up, you must decouple your income from the ticking clock. You have to become exponentially more valuable to the marketplace through leverage rather than just trying to bill for more hours in the day. So how do we actually do that? Well, the source material outlines some highly practical leverage vehicles. Things like creating recurring revenue through membership sites, building digital real estate, or forming strategic high-level partnerships. These are systems that work while you sleep. This is exactly how you create massive, consistent income that doesn't rely on your personal physical presence being there every second. Your task right now is to pick just one of these systems for this quarter and focus entirely on getting it up and running. Just one. And finally, pillar 5, obsess over your customer. Solving problems over selling ego. Too many entrepreneurs get completely trapped trying to sell their own expertise or their impressive background. They're essentially just selling their own ego. But the market only buys solutions to its own suffering and its own problems. To really cement this idea, think about Larry Page, the CEO of Google. He uses what he calls the toothbrush test. He literally asks his team, do our customers use it as often as you use your toothbrush? Now, that is a staggering level of integration, right? 7-figure earners possess a monomaniacal focus on exactly this. They want to be as utterly essential to their customers as a toothbrush. Here's the secret. Your customers are absolute marketing geniuses if you just take the time to actually listen to them. So here's your practical takeaway for this pillar. Schedule 3 discovery calls with your best clients this week and do not pitch them. Just ask them deeply about their current friction points, what they're passionate about, and their specific concerns. Your ultimate goal is to map out a fun, deeply personal journey for them that solves those exact problems flawlessly. All right, let's tie the whole shebang together. We've audited your 5 roadblocks, but honestly, a strategy review is completely useless without implementation. Learning new concepts is almost never the problem. Execution is. The real secret sauce is taking these pillars, the testing, the strategy, the delegation, the leverage, and the customer obsession, and operationalizing them right into your weekly routine. You have to repeat these actions until they become automatic, habitual behaviors. It requires a genuine long-haul commitment to excellence. So there it is. You now know exactly what the roadblocks are. You have the map in your hands. So I'll leave you with this. What single operational change will you make today? Not tomorrow, not next week, but today, to stop bottlenecking your own business and holding yourself back from your first million. The next move is entirely yours.